This demo gives a perspective for how Rundeck might be used inside a company. Today we'll be looking at a company called Zingbats. Zingbats sells a logistics coordination product. Zingbats uses Rundeck to help them avoid and respond to incidents. In this demo, we'll eavesdrop on the internal chat of Zingbats. What you see on your screen is the Zingbats company instant messenger, and I've added a little narrator to add some color to the story. So you have Trisha, who's the sales manager at Zingbats, and one of her salespeople has just told her in a panicked call that his demo site is offline. Trisha immediately jumps on the company chat for help. Demos are an important part of the company's operation, so Alice, the on-call SRE, responds quickly. She logs into Rundeck and starts her problem analysis. Bob, the salesman who's having the issue, gets his instant messenger connected and starts adding to the conversation. So Alice goes over to her jobs and performs a first logical check. She's going to check her web server performance. She hasn't received any alerts, but this is a good place to start. She just wants to double check and make sure they're okay. She tells Bob she's checking on the problem, and Bob starts to give her the urgency of the situation from his perspective. In the meantime, Alice has looked at her web servers and they look fine. This job just checks basic things about the web servers, make sure their CPU, memory, network, disk usage, those are all okay. As long as those are all okay, Rundeck is going to come back and tell her that. So she sees the web servers are just fine, and Bob, he's a great salesman, but the pressure to close this deal is heavy, so he's kind of stressed out. After Alice checks the web servers, she goes to the next level to check the web server logs for application deployment or application problems. So she runs the job, and immediately she discovers what the problem is. It looks like problem with the last deployment of the demo app. It's got a fat finger in the configuration and it's not ever going to start up. So Alice goes ahead and lets Bob know that she's found the problem and that she's going to do something about it. Now, finding the problem is half the battle, but having a prepared response for the problem is another half. But Alice is ready. She goes to her Rundeck repair section and she's going to roll the demo back to the previous known good version. So she executes her job. And in the meantime, Bob is very concerned because time is ticking and he doesn't have a whole lot. So he wants to know how much time this is going to take. And since Alice is using Rundeck, she knows that this job takes approximately 20 to 30 seconds. And just like it says, it's done. The rollback is complete. And so Alice is going to tell Bob that usually it takes about 30 seconds, but in fact, it's already done. So give it another try, Bob. So Bob goes and urgently refreshes his browser. And in the meantime, Alice talks to Duff, the developer on call. And she tells him that his last application deployment looks like it's blowing up. Duff responds just like every other developer responds. Hey, Alice, can you send me the logs? So Alice is happy to send him the logs. She just copies and pastes the log from Rundeck and puts it in the instant messenger there. And since Duff has a login to Rundeck to be able to see logs, he can click that, get his information just like he needs to very quickly. That's very convenient for him. But anybody else who would click on that link, if they don't have the proper access to Rundeck, they're not going to be able to get to it. So it's pretty safe to share a URL like this in a semi-public forum. In the meantime, Bob has checked his demo and is screaming along, and he is extremely happy. He says, "Thank you, Alice." He goes and he wins his client. And Alice knows her job is not quite done yet. So she tells Duff she's going to create a Rundeck job that checks for this same problem next time a deploy happens, and it'll run automatically. If they detect a problem, it'll go ahead and trigger the automatic rollback of the job. And so nobody gets caught flat-footed that way. Duff is, of course, extremely happy because he hates getting caught flat-footed. Alice goes on to be the company hero, and her company loves her because she has the time, she has the tools, and she has the ability to stay ahead of the problems that crop up. And by doing her job well, she makes everybody else at the company better.